Because what happens is that if I had been 100% healthy, I would have been on the air days ago cursing people out. Because this is the kind of stuff that gets on my damn nerves.
So Stephen A. Smith just delivered a masterclass in calling out political dysfunction. And frankly, it's exactly what we need more of. He's exposing how 50,000 TSA workers were forced to work without pay while politicians kept collecting their checks. This isn't partisan theater, it's accountability.
It's because people need to get called out and cussed out and ultimately let go and replaced. So the real adults in the room can come together and work to get things done. Because that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. You go to airports, you've seen lines, you've seen delays, there's still a partial shutdown, Department of Homeland Security, all of this other stuff that you're hearing about it. You're hearing about Democratic proposals, Republicans turning it down. You're hearing about Republican proposals, Democrats turning it down. And the American citizen is the one getting screwed.
He's absolutely right about the human cost here. When airport security is compromised because workers can't afford to show up, that's a national security crisis. The fact that politicians treat essential workers as expendable while protecting their own paychecks shows exactly what's wrong with the system.
That's where somebody like me comes in. Because there's no way in hell that I'm going to sit idly by and take this kind of nonsense. This is the kind of stuff people need to get ticked off about.
This is exactly why his potential political run resonates with so many people. He's not afraid to call out the entire establishment when they fail Americans. His $100 million ESPN deal gives him the independence to speak truth without worrying about political donors or party bosses.
So you got 10% of TSA workers that ain't showing up to work. And by the way, don't even think for 1 second to blame them. Don't even think for 1 second. How many of y'all working for free? How many of y'all working without having to worry about getting a damn check? How many of y'all are working when you know you're going to a job that doesn't afford you the luxury of being able to pay your bills when that's the damn reason you went to work to begin with?
The numbers are staggering. 50,000 TSA officers working without pay while Congress members earn their full $174,000 salaries plus benefits. These workers have mortgages, car payments, kids to feed. Meanwhile, the people who caused this crisis never missed a paycheck. It's unconscionable.
Some 50,000, I'm going to say it again, 50,000 TSA officers have been forced to work without pay for the last month due to the budget standoff. Typically, under 2% of TSA workers call in sick or do not report to work, according to the Department of Homeland Security.
A 500% increase in TSA absences isn't just a statistic. It's a security catastrophe. Normal absence rates under 2% suddenly jumping to over 10% means airports were operating with skeleton crews. During a time of international tensions, this political failure created genuine vulnerability.
What that also means is that security is compromised because the amount of people that you have doing the job no longer exist. So in an effort to expedite the process, to make sure that things are moving as fluidly as possible, who's to say there's not going to be some slip up somehow, some way, somewhere?
He's hitting on something critical here. With ongoing Middle East tensions and security threats, having understaffed airports isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. When political gridlock forces security shortcuts, we're literally gambling with national safety for partisan points.
Our government ain't getting it done. All of them ain't worth a damn at this particular moment in time. We already had a shutdown a few months ago where you got cats that was being furloughed, they were being laid off, they weren't getting paid, but the representatives, the elected officials on Capitol Hill were getting paid. They were getting their checks. They were keeping their health insurance. But somehow the American people that you're supposed to be serving doesn't get paid.
The contrast is infuriating. Congress members earning $174,000 plus premium health care while forcing TSA workers to choose between showing up unpaid or feeding their families. These politicians created a crisis, then insulated themselves from its consequences. It's exactly the swamp behavior voters hate.
Now, I'm going to point the finger at the Republicans because, damn it, you're the ones in power. Figure out a way. You got the White House, you got the Senate, you got the House. What the hell are you doing? Always talking shit and never having a plan. I'm sick of it. Get it together.
He's spot on about Republican accountability. When you control all levers of government, you own the results. We've seen decisive action on foreign policy when needed, so the capacity for leadership exists. The failure to protect American workers while protecting political positioning is inexcusable.
You knew a shutdown was imminent before. You knew you were going to have resistance before. Where's your plan to address it accordingly, to make sure that the American people, a lot who voted for y'all, would be taken care of?
This perfectly captures the broken promises. Campaigning on draining the swamp and putting America first, then forcing working class Americans to work without pay while politicians stay comfortable. Republican voters who believed those promises deserve better than this governmental malpractice.
And if you're the Democrats, you ain't much better. That's right, I said it. Ain't nobody gonna hide from it. The fact of the matter is that, look, the Democrats can make every proposal that they want to. If we're keeping it 100, let's call it what it is.
His bipartisan criticism is refreshing and necessary. Democrats making proposals they know won't pass. Republicans rejecting everything without alternatives. It's all political theater while real people suffer. Both parties are more interested in positioning for the next election than governing.
It's all right to get incendiary because that's going to get folks riled up. And it's going to force folks to be more polarized than ever before, as opposed to coming together and doing what's in the best interest of the country. It's the same old BS, different day.
He's identifying the core problem. Our political system rewards polarization over problem solving. Politicians get more donations and media attention from fighting than from compromising. Meanwhile, essential workers go unpaid and airports become security risks. The incentives are completely backwards.
Because listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have the answers. I want the answers. I want to establish this as a platform where both sides could come and talk, not just politicians. I'm talking about pundits. I'm talking about commentators. I'm talking about podcasters. I'm talking about everybody. If you know how to act like you got some damn sense and you're willing to be an adult, you are welcome to come on this platform. Know how to act like you got some damn sense, act like an adult, be an adult in the room, have something constructive and substantive to say, I'm all ears.
This is real leadership thinking, seeking solutions instead of sound bites. Most political commentary is just partisan cheerleading, but demanding actual expertise and constructive dialogue, that's how you move past dysfunction toward governance that works for real people.
I'm a moderate because I believe in compromising and negotiating because I understand that everybody can't get everything they want. No one gets everything they want. Everybody has to sacrifice something. But in the end, we got to do it for the betterment of the country because ultimately we all in it together.
His moderate approach is exactly what the country is hungry for. While both parties chase their extremes, most Americans want pragmatic leaders who can actually negotiate and compromise. The fact that he understands sacrifice is necessary for progress sets him apart from typical political rhetoric.
A lot of those decent Americans, contrary to what y'all want to believe, was at the Oscars on Sunday night. They weren't there just to receive awards. A few of them had a few things to say. And I can't say I blame them.
Smart political calculation here. His financial independence from that massive ESPN deal means he can afford to wait for the right opportunity rather than jumping into a risky campaign. Meanwhile, his platform lets him influence the conversation and build credibility as a serious voice for change.